These are your daily fantasy baseball matchups for August 10th, 2020. First game on the schedule today is Nationals versus Braves. I like Bryce Harper in this game. 2 home runs in his career versus Newcomb. If you want to save some money, I think Camargo and Riley are good plays. If you don't want to save some money, Acuna is a good play. 2 home runs in his career versus Aaron Nola. First 7 o'clock game of the night. White Sox at Detroit. I like Dallas Keuchel as a pitcher to pick up. Detroit's a pretty weak lineup. Players I like for the Tigers tonight are Scope with 1 home run in his career against Keuchel. I like Fulmer a little bit because he's cheap, but I'm a little hesitant because he's been fighting injuries. But Fulmer is a guy to watch out for if you're in a fantasy league and for DFS purposes in general. Fulmer is a former high-end prospect. If he does start figuring it out, that's a guy who could be a top-tier starting pitcher. There's not a high chance of that, but just keep an eye on his starts. So if you want to take a thing on Fulmer tonight, it's not the worst idea. I like Nomar Mazara tonight, and I do like Luis Garcia tonight. Mazara's been walking a lot this season, and I don't think he has a homer yet. So keep an eye on Mazara for the next couple of days. He's probably a pretty good guy to pick up. Patrick Corbin at the Mets tonight. Conforto's a lefty against the lefty Corbin, but he has 5 career home runs. So Conforto's cheap again tonight, just like he was yesterday. Davis is cheap again. I'm a little hesitant to get these guys today because Corbin's slider is pretty good, and I don't know if they can really hit that slider. And he's not the same pitcher. He kind of has 2 different careers. His first half and his second half, he kind of became 2 different guys with the slider. So if you need a cheap option, Conforto and Davis aren't bad choices, but they are versing a pretty good pitcher. And from the pitcher's perspective, Corbin's a good pickup, but you're going to have to pay for it with $10,000, $800. Steven Matz versus the Nationals. I think the guy you got to get today, I think this is the guy of the day. Maybe I'll start doing the guy of the day. I think Josh Harrison is the guy of the day. Very cheap. 2 career home runs against Matz in 10 at-bats with a 1755 OPS. I mean, he has no walks, 2 strikeouts. I wish he had some walks, but it's not too concerning, only 2 strikeouts. Harrison's the guy tonight for me in the Nationals lineup. I don't mind getting Asdrubal Cabrera. I do wish he had shortstop eligibility still. If Kieboom's starting tonight, I like Kieboom against lefty. Another lefty who's hitting lefty. I feel like I'm seeing that more this year with Verdugo hitting very well against Ryan Yarbrough with 1 home run and only 3 at-bats, I guess, with a 2,600 OPS. Michael Chavis is a good pickup at first base. Cheap, 2 home runs and 8 at-bats with a 750 on-base percentage and a 225, 2,250 OPS. JD Martinez has been getting a lot cheaper. He's in a slump. I think he's a guy to pick up and start targeting because he's due to turn it around. He's not done or anything like that. Mitch Moreland yesterday had 2 home runs. Today he's not looking too hot against Yarbrough, but he is. Oh yeah, versus the lefty, he won't be hitting today. But Mitch Moreland against righties, always keep that in mind. He's a good value against righties for some power. Here is another lefty who hits lefties well with Charlie Blackmon with 5 career home runs against Robbie Ray and a career 458 on-base percentage. I think Blackmon's your guy to get today in the Rockies game, like he usually is the guy to get. Arenado too, if you want to pay the price. But I like Blackmon better. I think he's more likely to get you some hits. 20 hits and 48 plate appearances for Blackmon, and 12 in and 14 and 49 for Arenado. So Arenado with one more plate appearance and 6 less hits. He also does have 5 more walks, it does look like, but a walk will not get you as many points as a hit. Stephen Vogt is a good pickup today in your catcher spot if you want to pay the price. 1 home run in his career against Jon Gray in Colorado. I'm not too shy for any of these Arizona hitters in Colorado, but that being said, I do like Jon Gray for the price. Jon Gray has shown he could pitch in Coors, so don't be too scared to pick up Jon Gray. If there's a hitter I would target the most in Arizona besides Voit, it would definitely be Escobar. With 2 walks and 2 strikeouts and a home run in his career against Jon Gray. We have Justin Dunn making, I guess, his first career start against the Rangers, so we have no data for that. Kyle Gibson against the Mariners, and limited data for that, only 5 guys available. It looks like Vogelbach is pretty good. I actually like Vogelbach a lot. He's a guy that I think gets underrated. I don't think he gets the playing time he deserves. So Vogelbach starting tonight, I would definitely pick Vogelbach up. That's my guy today in Mariners lineup. Sean Manaea at Angels. I think Manaea actually might throw a pretty good game here. Besides Trout, he doesn't really have anyone he has to worry about too much. He's a lefty, so he should be able to neutralize Ohtani pretty well. Ohtani and Tommy La Stella pretty well. Fletcher might be a guy to watch out for. He's kind of a different guy in his career now. And Justin Upton might be your guy to pick up. If you want to pick up a guy in this game from a hitter perspective, Justin Upton's definitely your guy if you don't want to pay the price for Mike Trout. For Julio Teheran at the Athletics, I'm a little hesitant for any of these guys because Chris Davis is kind of having a slow season. But if you were to pick someone up, it would definitely be Chris Davis with 2 career home runs, but only a 182 batting average versus Julio Teheran in 13 plate appearances. Here's a good one. Garrett Richards at Dodgers. Jock Peterson's a guy to pick up today. I think he's going to hit a dinger off of Richards. 5 plate appearances, 1 home run, 1 walk to 1 strikeout, and a double. So Peterson's definitely got some pop against Garrett Richards. And Peterson's just a good guy in general to pick up if LA's versing a righty. Will Smith is a catcher that's always a good option to pick up because he usually gets at bats, but the price you got to pay for him reflects that compared to other catchers. So I would say Peterson and Will Smith are good pickups for today. Dustin May at Padres, or against Padres in LA. I like Dustin May actually. I think Dustin May is a pretty good option to pick up. He's versed this lineup before, and this lineup has a lot of young hitters. I think young arms versus a young hitter. You got a lot of. May's going to be versed in this Padres lineup for a while. This is kind of like a new Dodgers-Giants kind of thing with these Padres team. This is like the Dodgers' new rival. So I think May's going to show up, bring his stuff. I think he wants to win this game. Hosmer's been on and off the IL, so he's kind of iffy. Jake Cronenworth could just be a hot bat if you want to take a pickup on him today, but his price has been going up. Francisco Mejia is a guy I like to pick up, but I do get bit a lot. I think the one little note that's just something you should keep in mind every day is that postponements and catchers. My biggest thing is with catchers not being in the lineup. A lot of teams have 2 catchers that they swap in back and forth. So just make sure before your matchups start that you go back in and make sure the catcher you picked for today is in your lineup because they will not the service you use will not automatically swap out your players. If the game gets postponed or your player gets subbed out or just never gets put in the lineup card, then the service will not switch in a guy at a nearest price. You will just have a dead spot for that night unless your guy pinch hits, and that really hurts your odds. Having a whole dead spot really hurts your odds of being the best team. I mean, that's a tenth of your production. So always keep that in mind. Make sure to check your lineups in case your guys are not in the lineup. They might have got scratched, or with catchers, they just they randomly get changed every day. It's a little annoying, but you got to stay up on that thing. So keep that in mind. Hope everything helped. Good luck and have a good one.